Hello Freethinkers, it's Shano here again. Unfortunately both Patrick Stewart and David Attenborough were unavailable to do the voiceover, so you're stuck with me, droning on. This is the first part of two videos that start to look at the analysis of the wider network on our forum. This video will talk through how I got the data, and also explain some terminology that will hopefully be useful when trying to understand the graphs. The next video will talk about the visualizations themselves. Every visualization needs data. Actually making the pictures is the easy part. It's like window dressing for numbers. Getting the numbers is the tough part. For networks like Facebook and Twitter, it's relatively straightforward. There are interfaces and scripts out there that can mine this data and extract it in a format that's quite easy to visualize. But forums are different. There's no easy way to mine the data. So, armed only with my good looks and charm, I decided to approach our forum management team and ask for their help in getting the data. The big issue to overcome was security. Some of our members live in societies where being an atheist is still, unfortunately, a very taboo thing. The admins were very clear that we had to do everything possible to ensure that people retain their anonymity. So for clarity, I have no access to email addresses, real names, IP addresses, or anything else that might be used to reveal our members' identity. I do have access to our brilliant Google Map that our community updates, and this will be used in a future video. I also have usernames and information on forum usage activity, but if for any reason you don't want your username to appear in these videos, then please let me know and you won't appear in any more. With that cleared up, I was able to get my sweaty paws on raw data. Lovely, clean columns of information that can tell us an awful lot about how we use the forum. Before we dive headlong into that, you'll need to get familiar with some terms that should make the visualizations a little easier to understand. Okay, this is a node. We can make that node anything we like. In my previous video on Beamore's Imagination versus Knowledge thread, each node was a forum post made by a user. Here is another node. We can give nodes lots of features. We can give them a lifespan, so they pop in and out of existence. We can even give them latitude and longitude so that they form a map, but more on that in later videos. The most important thing about nodes is that we can connect them to other nodes. We connect nodes with edges. Edges can be directed or undirected. Directed edges have arrows, and undirected edges do not. In Facebook, for example, we'd use undirected edges because friending people is mutual. You cannot friend someone unless they friend you back. On a forum, you're replying to a forum post, so it's a directed edge. It's the same on Twitter. You can follow someone, but they're not obligated to follow you. How connected a node is defines its size, and we call the connection of nodes its degree. In directed networks, like our forum, degrees can be further defined by degrees in or degrees out. This can be useful as we have some members who reply to a lot of posts and some members whose posts generate a lot of replies. As well as defining size by the degree of the node, we can also do it by the size of the label. So if a username appears bigger in certain visualizations, it's typically because they're either posting a lot or generating a lot of replies. The final concept I'll talk about is modularity. Modularity is a means of trying to see if there are communities within the network, groups that are connected to the wider network but are closely connected to certain parts. Here's an illustration. There are 3 coffee shops in a chain of coffee shops in 3 different towns. Whilst the employees all work for the same company, they're far more closely connected with their colleagues in their respective shops than they are in the other coffee shops in the other towns. One network, but 3 communities within the network. In my visualizations, I define modularity by color, so nodes that are the same color are in the same community. In the analysis that I've been doing on the forum, I found modularity to be the most important tool, because we don't form relationships in the same way as we would on Facebook. On my visualizations, modularity or color is used to define who talks to who the most, and in some illustrations, who posts to which forum the most. Let's summarize what I hope you've learnt. Nodes, edges, degrees, modularity. Equipped with this knowledge, we'll look at some visualizations in the next video.